add or subtract. That is pretty much the simple formula that you are going to go through in life. Life is not an exact science, it's also a little bit of an art form. But it's both, it's science and art. So science is the collecting of data, studying it, and coming up with a conclusion. And part of the mathematical formula in life is, are you going to add something or are you going to subtract something? And that's going to build a baseline structure for the direction of your life, and it will affect your quality of life. Life in many instances is simple. There's a part of life that can't be understood, that can be frustrating, and that's outside of our control. The art form of life, some of that is outside of our control. In life, good to see you, XB. In life, we have to learn to discipline the mind so that we don't get an abundance of anxiety. We have to discipline the mind and focus on what we can control. So what we can control is, what do we want to add and what do we want to subtract? Now, the first thing is, yeah, that sounds simple, but then the next wave of emotion that comes is, I don't know. Indecision and having a hard time making a decision is very much a struggle, and that's how we end up in this ball of anxiety, and that's how we end up not making progress over years, because we're not exactly sure what to add or what to subtract. So the first part is simple. I mean, the first part is you always start with subtraction. Why do you start with subtraction? Because every time you add something, you add complexity to your life, you add burdens and complications. So when you start a renovation to a house, many times you need to subtract, you need to gut the house. Now, sometimes you may not need to gut the house, but you may need to strip the old painting and sandpaper it down. So subtraction, taking the unnecessary, the wasteful things out of your life so that you can get a clearer vision for your life. Subtraction. Most of the things that we have and the things that we do in life are wasted time, energy, and money. So you can get the clearer vision by taking away the thing that is so obvious. When you're in school, the biggest thing I got in school, most of school is wasted knowledge. There's some that's important, but mostly school's a daycare to keep you occupied, to learn some basic formulas. But really, the value of school is to teach you how to function in a system and solve problems. No matter what system we would have, a capitalist system, socialist system, a mix in between, doesn't matter. You always have to learn how to navigate a system, and you have to learn how to solve problems. That's the driving teaching that's given to you if you pay attention in school. And what I remember most in school, this is very important, guys. Listen to this part if you don't listen to nothing else. What I remember in school is when you're given a word problem, meaning you read a paragraph and there's a problem, you have to solve it. And usually there's four answers that you have to select from. You read a problem, there's four answers you have to select from. The first thing you're taught, and this is the main life lesson you apply, is you subtract the answers that you feel don't apply to the problem. So before you select the answer, before you add on to, your life, you subtract what answers don't make sense. And usually out of the four answers, A, B, C, D, there's usually one that's totally out in left field. Like, how does XB Jeffy smoke weed and masturbate at the same time? He goes, to the YMCA. He doesn't do that. That doesn't make sense. So if it doesn't make sense, you subtract it. Subtract what is totally not making sense. It doesn't make sense for you to, if you want to move to a different state, it doesn't make sense for you to do a renovation. A renovation is adding something onto a house in a state that you don't want to live. Doesn't make sense. So once you start to eliminate, subtract what doesn't make sense, then you're usually left with two answers that are similar. Two answers are similar, but there's a little bit of a difference. And that's where the real decision lies. And in life, whatever answer you select is going to add something. And you have to be cautious when you add something, okay? You should always make a decision based on whatever you decide it's going to add less to your life. Because the more you add to your life, the more burden you're putting on your mental health, the more burden you're putting on your physical health. Another kid is more burden. Another pet is more burden, okay? A second or third job is more boring, more burden. Some people ask me why I stopped doing DoorDash. You know, I stated in the beginning, I did DoorDash as a third job to collect data, because again, life is a little bit of a science and art, to collect data, to see what I could make doing it as a side hustle if I ever needed to down the road. I won't work 3 jobs. Why? Because it doesn't make sense to add that much stress to my life. But there's a time where you do have to add that, as long as there's not a major commitment long term, okay? Because it's not sustainable to have, and I've been there in life where I've worked 3 jobs, not because I was trying to collect data, but because I was trying to pay bills, okay? So if you have to work 3 jobs, you have too much in your life, you can add 4 jobs, you still won't get ahead. You have to subtract, okay? And if you're working, like 2 jobs that aren't really good and you're not happy, you may have to, add a major career job and subtract the 2 side hustles. I don't know. You have to figure out your own life. I know a lot of times on this channel, or in my own life, let me just say this, in my own life experience, people look at me like they're guru, like it's my job to figure out their life. And I used to play the I'm going to save you. I don't play that game anymore. You can't save anyone, guys. I don't care how sweet the barista is at Starbucks and how impressed she is with you. You can't save anyone, okay? And if anything, they're going to lure you into their trap of anxiety. Okay? Don't try to save people, guys. Okay? Lead by example. Build your own life and be so happy with yourself that you don't need to save someone else, and show that person who needs saving that that's what you need to do. Okay? You need to do the work of your life. Okay? You need to figure out what you need to add and subtract. Okay? Because I'm not your accountant. And even my accountant, even accountants. And my accountant asked for my YouTube channel when I had to report it on my tax this year. So now he's going to watch videos about me masturbating. Now I may have to change accountants next year. I remember when I had a nonprofit organization and I was doing a radio show every weekend, and my mom had told like different people she knew, like, I had a radio show because, mom brags. It was just a local radio show on a local AM station. It was nothing big. But, then she told like some of the people she knew, and what was I doing a weekly thing on masturbation? And she goes, Sam, I told a couple of my friends that you had a radio show. What was this week's topic? And I was like, blessed. I was like, masturbation. I was like, oh God. And then she like, so, hey, look, but I got to be me. Hey, if I got to subtract people, I don't want to subtract my accountant because I like my accountant. But if I had to subtract him, at this point in my life, I'm willing to subtract anyone. Why? Because, guys, you have to get to a certain point in your life where you have subtracted enough obligations that you can be yourself. It starts with downsizing. People often look at the simple life. I got to get a van first. You don't have to get a van first. You have to throw out all your stuff, get rid of your storage unit, and then you're ready for a van. Okay? Subtract before you add. If you're getting a divorce, you don't need to get a new girlfriend, boyfriend first. You need to get through the divorce. You need to subtract your spouse. And then down the road, you have to see if you're going to add. I just watched a murder that took place last year. Chris Watts. He's a guy from Colorado. Okay. He killed his pregnant wife and his 2 daughters. And his wife was pregnant again. You can watch it on YouTube. You got a lot of surveillance cameras. And what he was doing, he had a side piece. He added another girl. He was going to add a 3rd baby to try to save the marriage. And he ended up subtracting all his family because he wanted to have a restart. He overloaded himself, and so did she. Look, she met him on Facebook, okay? And she said she was in a bad place, and he saved her. Because she did like Instagram or something where she said like, oh, I thank God I met my husband. He saved me. No one can save you. Okay? You have to do the work of your life. Your pet, your children, they can't save you. Don't put the burden of your life on someone else. Shame on you. To every parent that says, if it wasn't for my child, I wouldn't be excited about life. So you're saying your child has to emotionally give you the strength to carry on? That's what you're saying. You're saying you hate this world. You hate life if it wasn't for your child. That's what you say. Why'd you bring your child into this world? Because you hate life. Because you wanted to add instead of subtracting what was making you upset. Look to subtract, guys, not to add. After you strip away, okay, look to subtract the fast food. Forget the keto diet. Forget adding a bunch of fatty foods to your diet to try to lose weight. Forget that plan. That's the keto diet. Huh. Subtract eating out. Start there. And subtract every family member and friend that tells you because it's the holidays, you can eat a sugary cookie. Okay? I want you to make a mental note. I want you to tattoo on your forehead. You starve during the holidays. You don't indulge, you starve. Because that's the time to get your life together. You start going on a diet the day before the holidays, not after New Year's. Because let me tell you something, every fat ass that's on a keto diet in June, you know what they did? They indulged on the holidays. Okay. And now it's June and they're not feeling good about themselves. Okay. This is my own life, guys. A guy who lost 200 pounds, you know what I did? I started subtracting. Okay. And I started subtracting anyone who would put pressure on me to eat during the holidays, or anyone who would put pressure on me to eat at the lunch table during work days when the company would buy pizza or Dunkin' Donuts. And if someone couldn't understand, I wouldn't even sit with them to eat. I subtracted them. Guys, it's your job to figure out your life, guys. Your job to do this formula. Okay. But caution yourself. I am slow now to acquire. Slow to acquire. Because I know that every time you add, it's harmful. You're putting a demand on yourself. After you've subtracted for a long enough time, then you have to add a little bit to bring your life in balance. Okay. Balance is different for everyone. That's why no one can save you. Okay. Because no one knows your balance. You have a unique fingerprint. Your children don't even have your same fingerprint. Okay. Your parents don't have your same fingerprint. You are a unique individual. That's why you got to wake your ass up. No one can figure out your life but you. For a while, even when I was a young adult, sometimes I would look to my mom, or maybe even be like a little bit of a mama's boy. And then I had to smack the shit out of myself. I said, I got to figure out my own life. My mom has diabetes. She's been divorced. She's trying to do the best she can to survive. I got to figure out my own life. And then I went to church, and I'm very thankful for all these things, for my mother, for church. And I went to church, and it was helpful. But I started looking around, so shit, pastors committing adultery. There's money missing. The church is in shambles. I said, oh shit. I got to figure out my own spirituality, okay? Subtract till your life makes sense. Then be slow to add. I'm slow to add a home base. Why? Because I know what it brings. It brings more burdens. It can bring some balance, though. That's why I'm not putting it off the table. Just like when I lost 200 pounds, I got so skinny, almost anorexic. I wanted to subtract all the bad habits I had and sustain it off. And then I started adding, eating more, indulging more, healthy, okay? Knowing the nutritional value, okay? Because I wanted to sustain. So in the beginning, you subtract and you stay subtracted, and then you add a little bit to sustain a lifestyle, okay? Whether it's minimalism, a diet, a mindset. But I believe with all my being that when in doubt, subtract, don't add. Okay. Because it's hard to subtract. It's easy to add. It's easy to tell someone you can come live with me. I don't think you've ever experienced life until you had someone live in your house. You know how hard it is to get them out of your house? I don't even care if they got an RV parked in front of your house. It's not easy to get someone to move. And then people think they're entitled. I saw a guy on YouTube, someone let him stay at an RV park for free, and then he thought he was entitled. He was entitled to stay parked there without paying rent. And he wanted a 60-day to be served an eviction notice. Guys, it's hard to get rid of people, easy to add people. Easy to tell someone, yeah, come park here. That's why I've had many people, friends, and some people that I've known on YouTube offer for me to come park at their house for free. I've never taken one of them up on their offer. Why? Because one is I don't want to get entangled, but two is they should never even put themselves in that position. I appreciate all those offers. And if I was really destitute, I mean, I don't know, it'd be another thing. But once you get someone in your life, it's hard to get them out. John, good to see you, brother. And I caution you. I caution you before you invite someone in your house to stay. I caution you, don't do it. And that's my main topic. Okay, we'll go all live comments now, take a hydration break, and we'll go from there. Love and respect. It was a beautiful day in Florida today, guys. Beautiful day. Okay, 90 degrees, hot, sunny, still cloudy and cold in New Jersey. Total disaster. Okay. And by the time it's July, it'll be packed at the Jersey Shore. And what I could tell you is, again, don't do a renovation to a house in New Jersey and Boston if you don't want to live there. Okay, start subtracting. You should be putting your house up for sale now, guys. It's the summertime. It's the height of the real estate market. You shouldn't be adding to your house. You should be subtracting. Okay. When you become an empty nester, don't look to add to the empty nest. Okay. Look to get rid of the nest because now you don't need a nest. Now you can be free. Adding is easy because it gives us a high. Every time we acquire, we get a high initially, but then there's an emotional burden and regret long term. I think of the movie with George Clooney. I want you to watch it. It's called Air Up There. And it was about a guy who was single by himself, and his job was basically to lay off people. And he was very much preaching minimalism, and he was basically saying that you should think of life as a book bag. You got a book bag strapped to your back. And every time you add something to your life, a car, a relationship, whatever, you're putting weight on your shoulders to carry that book bag. And before you know it, you've acquired a house, a family, friends, whatever, a church, and now your back is about to break, okay? It's the straw that breaks the camel's back, okay? Not the big chick at Dollar Tree, it's the straw. So be careful. Be careful not to add too much to your life. Then he went on to say, oh, yeah, but, some of the most important things are your time, your special time with people. And then he chased after a girl. She was having an affair. Then he went to her house to try to get with her long term. And she was like, look, I'm with my family. Never get involved with a married person, guys. When you get involved with a married person, you're adding to a life that they should be subtracting to. You're doing the wrong math. Guys, if that math doesn't add up, something's wrong. Okay? They're a psychopath. They're a drug addict. They're a cheater. Or they're not meant for you. They could be doing everything right, but if the math doesn't add up, you're not overthinking it. Guys, cut off anyone that says you're overthinking it. Now, maybe you are overthinking it. Sometimes I say you're mind screwing things. It may be. But what I'm trying to tell you is, look, in my opinion, you may be overthinking, but you got to figure out your own life. In someone else's opinion, I may be overthinking things, but guess what? I got to figure out my own life, guys. You're an adult. You got to start acting like an adult, okay? We all still need grace. If things get hard enough for any of us, we'll call for mommy. We'll be scared. So I don't want to try to give you a bunch of bravado. None of us are above being broken. But you have to develop a little bit of intensity, okay? To say, hey, look, let me smack the shit out of myself, all right? Because it's not this guy's on YouTube's channel to figure out my life, okay? I got to figure out my life. Why don't I feel emotionally supported by my spouse, okay? It's not my fault. So don't come here like I gotta, be your emotional babysitter. I'm not that. Okay. I want you to do the work of your life. Should you subtract your spouse? That's up to you. That's up to you, not me. Okay. And what I could tell you, man, is there's a hot Puerto Rican girl at Starbucks tonight. Would I add her to my life? I thought about it for a moment and I said, nope. Because she tried to flirt with me. She tried to initiate contact. And then I was very nice to her, and I appreciate that. But I stopped the conversation by just putting my head down and stopping talking back because I was thinking of some sweet things to say back to her. I know how to keep the conversation. Guy, I'm a great talker. Guys, I got a great personality. Believe me. But I said I don't want to flirt. Why? Because I don't want a relationship. And flirting is like wasted calories, okay? It's a high, but it's a sugar high. And I don't want to have a problem going to Starbucks, okay? I did that. I dated once in the community I lived. Total disaster, guys. Never date in the community you live, guys. Total entanglement. You can't even walk the streets anymore. Now I got to dodge the person you were dating. I don't want to have to dodge the person at Starbucks. I don't want to flirt with her either. Well, I don't want a relationship, guys. A relationship to me is a burden, man. It is. Now, all you people who love being loved, hey, good luck with that. Again, I don't know why people that are so in love with love, you should start doing diaries of your life on how great your life has turned out. All you people who are infatuated with love and believe in fairy tales, start doing videos about how inspired with life you are. But chances are you get your spouse, and I have to be your emotional support system. What a disaster. Do all relationships end in a disaster? A lot of them. But hey, I'm not mad at you. If I want to do a risky investment, do a lot of risky investments end in disaster? Yeah, so hey, I can't judge you. But what I say is I just want to do me. I'd rather do a risky investment than to date a hot girl. Why? Because, it's in my own control. Like, if I mess up in life, I have no one to blame but myself. If I add someone else to my life and they frustrate my life, I have to, you want to blame them. You hate them. You resent them. That's why you got to be cautious to add. I think a lot of times when people add stuff to their life, they think this will figure out my life. Only you can figure out your life, guys. It all comes back to that. All right, let's go all live comments. A little bit long tonight. XB Jeffy, brother, I watched some of your old videos. I didn't know you were addicted to I didn't even know you could be. You were addicted to masturbating and you were addicted to weed. You tried some type of program. You said you had a relapse. See, I think masturbation is healthy, but I guess for some people it's like drinking. Some people can't have just like one drink, they become alcoholics. So what happened, brother? You couldn't enjoy your day. You were masturbating all day, every day. Tell me about that experience, brother, because I'm very interested. XB Jeffrey, love to you, brother. I'm watching your old videos. M. Tough. Ringing like crazy over here so hard. I don't know where you're at. I don't want to know where you're at. Some people ask me, Sam, what's your location? Someone the other day asked me what was my, where did I make this video from? Their tag name was me and V. Okay? It was like them and their child. I don't know. I said, oh yeah, I'll tell you where I was at. Why don't you tell me your real name? And your child's real name. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to do that. Yeah, of course. You don't want to tell me your name. Why should I tell you where I'm at? I mean, come on. Come on, man. I'm not adding you to my life. Get out of here. But people think they're entitled to that information. I don't know why. Guys, I make a video. I put in the video what I want you to know. Okay? And believe me, now, do I want people to know where I'm at all times? No, I want some privacy, guys. Love and respect. Let's continue. I'm tough. I've watched some of your old videos. XB Jeffy's got a hot channel, but I think he used to masturbate like crazy. He masturbating so much, his penis was raw. He was losing skin on his penis. He wasn't able to function in society, and he was a weed head. Now, he's turned his life around because that brother's doing great, man. He's got great personality. He's a great guy. I like his videos. But I don't know what happened. That's why he went into relapse, and he stopped doing videos for like a year because he could be a YouTube star like that if he stayed consistent. But I don't know what's going to happen. XB Jeffy, please tell me what's going on. Black Sheep, yo, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Taffy, that's my guy. I was thinking about you today. I said, Taffy, maybe Taffy just didn't like me. He left. I don't know what happened, but I had to move on with my life. But I was thought about you today. I was just, I don't know. I mean, sometimes too, when I see a profile picture, I said, was Taffy like really my friend or was he a troll just lurking? I don't know. But I say he shared a lot about his auto mechanic skills, so he's got to be a good guy. But I know you're in the IT world. Brother, I love you. It's good to see you. Bottom line is something was on my heart. I thought about you today. Hey, man. Finally made it to life. Your brother, it's good to have you. Usually I watch just the replays. All right, well, I appreciate you just watching. The day after wild work, I appreciate that. Thanks for showing up, brother. Bro, I appreciate your positivity, man. Never judge a book by its cover. Because I saw Taffy's profile picture. I said, that's a troll. But it turns out Taffy's a nice guy, or at least to me. So how do I said, well, thank you for being a nice person to me. And that's all I can judge on. Taffy, keep doing you, brother. I appreciate your love and support. John Suttles, very supportive, very positive, brother. I love you. Good to see you. You stay positive, John. I'm tough. It's hard to get a psychopath who shops at the Dollar Tree out. No doubt about that. I had to change locks with an industrial strength locks. Laughing. Hey, ain't nothing funny about that, guys. Let me tell you, if you think it's hard to get a psychopath out, wait till you have to get a lover out. Those 3 mil trash bags that you were supposed to be downsizing with, now you're going to have to throw their stuff in those bags, and you're going to have a friend come pick them up. It's a total disaster, guys. Never invite anyone to move in with you. Okay? Never. Okay? It's a total disaster. In my opinion, do whatever you want. Taffy. I saw that Kenny the Jet Smith, former basketball player, and now in the NBA scene, is divorcing his wife. I didn't know that. Taffy, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I know Kenny Smith used to play with the Rockets. Thank you for sharing that, brother. I didn't know that. Yeah, look, I think everyone should do whatever they want, period. My views on marriage is I would be slow to marry. I would be slow to have kids, okay? Now, you should do whatever you want, but this is my channel and how I feel. It's not worth it. But I do some things that people feel aren't worth it. I live an odd life that some people disagree with. So I have to say that, look, people should accept how I want to live because how I want to live. So I should accept how people want to live because that's how they want to live. And I agree with that. But don't like make a comment and expect me to agree with buying a big house, getting a wife, getting 3 kids. That's not my lifestyle. If you want to do it, I say congratulations. But we're not going to have much in common. And that's why I accept my channel's not going to grow a lot to a certain extent. Now, it has grown a lot, so I want to be thankful. But last night I did a great live feed about marriage. Marriage is a scam. I lost like 10 subscribers off the door. Why? 75% of my viewers are males, okay? And the 25% are female. I think 50% of them are lesbian. Why? Because I'm a loud, intense guy that preaches don't have kids, get a vasectomy, and live in your car. You know, how many women out there want to hear that? Not many, less than 1%. That's how many, you know, like I say, maybe a couple brute lesbians and, you know, a couple guys that are, you know, borderline intense too, but not too many women. But I'm willing to accept that. That's all right. Snow Panther, Minnesota's in the house. Do you awaken at night by other people closing their car doors or locking car sounds, people taking or car? No, not really, not anymore. Once in a while, yes, but usually by the time I go to bed, because I'm outdoors so much and I'm active so much, living in your car or van makes you be outdoors more for the most part. There's exceptions. So at the end of the night, by the time I find a place, I'm tired, man. I go right out. So, but especially, you know, 2 years into this, okay? So, but a lot of times when people have a house or apartment, they're in their house or apartment the majority of the day. And they're taking naps, they're laying around. And so that's why they're up at night. And that's why they're pacing at night. That's why they have $2,000 mattresses and they can't sleep 5 minutes. Why? Because, you know, they've been lounging around their house all day. Damn it, Chris, thank you for the super chat. Your channel provides a lot of value, and I will pay for value any day. Well, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the tip, and for you showing some love. Thank you, man. I have a notebook and pen out. Keep bringing it. Well, brother, Chris, I appreciate the encouragement, man. It means something to me. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Love and respect, Chris. Thank you, brother. But what I would tell you is, yeah, I mean, look, I had a house for 15 years. So for me and my experiences, when you lounge around a house, you tend to eat more too. Like I'd be up all night, like eating, watching TV, like trying to get myself to sleep. Now, when you're living in your car, you're outdoors more and you're active more because you're forced to be. And so for some people, they couldn't handle it. It's a lot of movement. It does wear on your mind. But for me, at the end of the night, I sleep. Now, once in a while, I sprinkle in campgrounds because I think if you're a full-time nomad, now so I'm cheap. So a lot of times I say, man, if I can get free parking, why am I going to pay for a campground? Because you sleep a little bit better as far as you know you're in a safe, secure place and you can sleep later. A lot of times when you sleep at truck stops or Walmarts, you have to be up very early or you should be and get the hell out of there. So there's like a time clock in your head. So when you're at campgrounds, you can just lounge around a little bit if you need to catch up on sleeping. And every once in a while you do. The problem with campgrounds is there's a bug problem in the summer, okay? So especially in Florida, but anywhere, because bugs come out in the summer, and especially at night. So that could be a little bit discomforting in the campground. So it has, you know, it has pros and cons. Thank you again, Chris. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you for the super chat, man. Taffy, I saw that. Oh, yeah, I read that. Yeah, that's interesting, man. Thank you for sharing. Snow Panther. Oh, I read that too. Dennis, is there anything about Florida you'd subtract? Gainesville, Florida. Why? Because I don't like the panhandle. The panhandle in North Florida, I would subtract, but I do subtract it. I don't try to like eliminate those people and try to tell them what they're doing is wrong, but I don't visit the panhandle. I don't visit North Florida unless it's Northeast and only once in a while. Why? Because it's just not my culture. It's not my style. I like to be Southeast Florida. I like to be by the coast, by beaches, by bikinis, by the diversity that Southeast Florida is. It's often said the further south you get in Florida, the more up north, the more diverse. North Florida and the Panhandle Northwest is very much like rural South, a rural South state. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no disrespect, but I'm honestly sharing, not just, you know, giving you some BS, is that me personally, I like Southeast Florida. I like the beach. I like the culture. I like the diversity. I like the vibe. There's different energies. I don't even really like the west coast of Florida. It's just a different vibe off the Gulf of Mexico versus the Atlantic Ocean. So I subtract the Panhandle and North Florida, not because there's something wrong with it or I'm trying to be disrespectful, because it doesn't appeal to my style of life. And so that's what I would say. Other than that, that's it. I love Florida. I love everything about it. I even love the height of the summer. I even love the rainstorms that come and then go. Obviously, the bugs are the same thing in New Jersey too. I mean, when I slept in my car in New Jersey at the height of summer, if you're in a campground, it's bugs. So overall, that'd be it. I'm tough. If a woman offered you a free BJ, no constraints or relationship, would you take it? No. Why? Because nothing in life is for free. Nothing. Okay. Snow Panther, damn it, Snow Panther, thank you for the super chat, brother. Shout out to Minnesota. We just took the death penalty off the table. Everyone in Minnesota got a reprieve because of my brother Snow Panther coming in hot. Thank you, Snow Panther. I appreciate that, man. No, I wouldn't take a BJ because for free, because nothing's for free in life. Everything cost. And that's why a lot of times, as I got older and more mature, there were some girls that liked me and they wanted that type of relationship. Okay. Not that I haven't been rejected. I've been rejected, but I've also had my opportunities. And as I got older in life, I realized I don't want that in my life, because there's no such thing as just a companion. Once you entangle with someone emotionally or physically, you bring a level of consequence and burden to your life. Okay. Because there's no such thing as in and out with a relationship. None. Okay. And if once in a while it's the exception, not the rule, it's not worth the risk reward ratio for me. I'd rather do a risky investment because it's just me. I have only myself to worry about. I don't have to worry about someone else's emotions or danger or trust or whatever. I like to just depend on me. That's how I am. You still need community. You still need other people. So I'm not preaching isolationism. But as far as relationships, there's no such thing as a free BJ, guys. There's no sex in a champagne room. What I could tell you is masturbate. It equals the same thing, ejaculation. Now, I know my man XB Jeffy, I got to read his comment. I don't know if he replied. He stopped masturbating because he had an addiction problem with it. But I don't know. Now I feel like he's going to get married and he's going to have 2 kids. Then he's going to turn to Chris Watts, God forbid. Who's Chris Watts? A person who had 2 kids, then had a 3rd kid to save to marriage, then killed his kids and his wife, and then had an affair. Look, guys, masturbate. Gets all that emotion out and you don't have any burden. Now, if you want a family, you should have a family. And I'm not joking about murder because I think that's a nasty thing, but I'm bringing up the topic that you have to be very cautious to add relationships, specifically romantic relationships, to your life, because the number one cause of stress in life is relationships. Okay. What have I seen destroy people's life? Good, hardworking people, relationships, not terrorism, not some psychopath at the Dollar Tree. What I've seen destroy people's lives are relationships, and all relationships start with cute, innocent flirting. Okay. You're flirting with the hot Puerto Rican girl at Starbucks, and the next thing you know, you're caught in a death triangle with her and her ex-lover and everything else, and it's complete psychopath mode. Okay. And so what I could tell you guys is I don't want anything to do with that. I've been down that road. Total disaster. Okay. I don't want anything to do with it. So that answers that question. Good job. Illinois. I've seen a few XB Jeffy videos. Good job. Good job showing love at Illinois. He was almost like a mini Sammy. He was, man. He reminds me of a young version of me. I'm very supportive of him. Chris, man. Thank you again, brother. I appreciate that. Let's take a hydration to our brother Chris and our brother Snow Panther showing me some love on that. And it's appreciated. Take a hydration break. Next. Tony, what's up, man? Good job, Sam. Thank you. As an introvert, does being outside around so much people and not having completely privacy stress you out? No, because even though I like to be by myself 99.9% of the time, I know how to function in society. That's allowed me to advance my career and work a job and keep a job. And I know that part of life, you just got to deal with people. So, and I don't like to be in the middle of nowhere. I like to be by cities or urban areas because I like the resources they provide. I don't want to be in the middle of nowhere looking at Bob Wells. I want to be by Boca Raton watching girls in bikinis because I like to look, not touch. But I've learned, I have a gift and I know how to navigate the system. Now, once in a while I get caught in the system, right? Someone parks too close to me, someone frustrates me. But being that I don't have too much other aggravation to deal with in my life, I don't have a wife and 2 kids, I can deal with it. It's not the straw that breaks the camel's back with me because I don't have a camel on my back. I don't have a heavy book bag of a bunch of stuff that I don't need in my life on my back. I've simplified my life. But if you have a regular conforming life and you're out in the public, that can happen because you're dealing with enough already. But for some people have commented in my channel, they're not in a mentally good place. They haven't downsized their life. All they did was jump in their car and try to live my life 2 years ahead of the timetable. Like, they didn't take the steps. They didn't downsize their life, take care of their health, take care of their spirituality. All they did was just jump in their car and saying, living in my car is going to change my life. And then they failed, because what they found is you still have to deal with people, you still have to deal with society, you still got to deal with yourself. And so I did things in order. And so because of that, and because of my personality, it's not an issue. Again, once in a while I get caught in a jam because it's just life. You can't avoid life. But I would say overall, I know how to navigate around the things that could be a stumbling block for others. And I accept that you keep it moving in life. You're entitled to nothing. A lot of times people think they're entitled to a certain parking spot or to be in a certain place. I keep it moving even when I don't have to, because I don't even want that spirit and I don't want that mindset to linger in my life. I let go easily and I keep it moving. Good question. Snow Panther, man, thank you again. Love and respect to Minnesota. He's even got the blue one to represent Minnesota. Tony, I need my private space of my apartment. That's good. You know yourself. Way to self-express, to really unwind and relax. Tony, that's a great comment. Being out around people drains my energy. Good job. Tony, that's a great comment. That's a great balance to what I just said. Why is it a great comment? Because Tony knows himself, okay? Knowing yourself is the key to all decisions. So like I say, adding and subtracting is all about bringing balance to your life, okay? So for Tony, Tony's life wouldn't be in balance if he didn't have an apartment to come home to at the end of the night to unwind. His life would be out of balance. And that's why he is making the right decision for him, okay? That's why I say 100 agree emoji to you, okay? And that's why I say, again, I can share my life and Tony can share his life, but guess what? You have to figure out your life, okay? And we all have a different mathematical formula. So Tony, great perspective. I totally agree with that. Good job. I'm tough. I meant a one-time deal. There's no such thing as a one-time deal. I've been through that. And that's what I'm here to tell you. I don't know if you've ever got a blowjob. MTOF, have you ever gotten a free blowjob with no obligations, no nothing, and you just went back home and you never talked to them again and everything was happy-go-lucky? Because I've never been through that, brother, and that's not reality, but I'll continue to read. And then you would never see them again. Now, that's like, saying like, if you were like a Batman, would you ever like fly into Jennifer Lopez's house? That's like playing like a game that's a fictional game in your mind that's never going to come true. There's no such thing as free blowjobs. You never see that person again. There's no strings attached. And if it is, it's 1% of the time. It's like trading a penny stock. You hit it big one time, and then you try to hit another penny stock eventually because you like the emotion, and then eventually you go bankrupt. Because trading penny stocks for most people is unsustainable. So what I can tell you is I just don't play that game. I'm not saying you shouldn't play that game, but all I'm saying is I played that game. I didn't like that game. You should do whatever you want. I'm tough. I think you skipped Journey with Jordan's comment. Well, thank you. Let me go back and try to read. Journey with Jordan, did I miss you? I don't see anything missed. Let me go back to see if you got blocked, brother. Again, if you guys see something, some reason I didn't see him. Let me read Journey with Jordan's. He goes, if a subscriber recognized you at Planet Fitness, would you admit you were Inspirational Nomad? Probably not. Or would you just run into the shower stall? I'd probably run to the shower stall. Why? Because I tell you guys, don't approach me. Even if I see someone I know in real life and we've been through a lot of stuff together, I try to avoid them. Now, look, if I got no choice, look, it is what it is. But all I'm telling you guys is please don't approach me. If you do, just be careful because, that's how I am. But I try to avoid people. I hate seeing people I know. So it may be inevitable. And that's my number one negative at this point in my life, having a YouTube channel is public. I don't even like to be asked too many questions on YouTube. So forget seeing someone in person. Now, again, it's part of the trade-off. I'm willing to do it, but eventually, that's something that lingers in my mind. The number one thing you have to worry about having a YouTube channel is your privacy. And that's what XB Jeffy and everyone else has to worry about. And that's why most people end up shutting down their channel. Why? Because it's not worth sacrificing your privacy. But right now, it's still worth it, but that's how I would handle it. Good question. Thank you, MTOF, for telling me to go back. I didn't realize I missed this comment. MTOF, I thought I got blocked. Nah, I didn't realize it. I don't know why it didn't show up on my phone, but it showed up on my laptop. So always repeat the question if it's not answered. Chris, do you have any good techniques to politely stop small talk conversations? Smile and keep your mouth shut. Because what I've learned in life is if you keep talking, they keep talking. But when someone's talking and you don't want them to continue, it's like, how do you put out a fire? You just kind of let it die on its own, okay? That's how you should think about it. When someone's talking to you and you want to end the conversation, stop talking and smile. Just like this. What you're doing is you're letting the fire burn out, okay? Because sometimes when you throw water on a grease fire, all it does is make the fire worse. So just let the fire die out naturally by doing this. Like even when I shut up and smile, like if I do this for a while, people leave the chat room. When I had a radio show, what they said is you never want to have more than 5 consecutive or 7 consecutive seconds of dead air. Because when you have dead air, people think like there's no radio show. And that's why once in a while, like you hear people say, oh, you're listening to 97.1. Like you have to keep the energy. So when I shut up and smile, I'm stopping the energy flow. When you stop the energy flow, the fire dies out. When you talk back, when you give like even body language too much, you keep the flames of the fire burning. So if you really hate someone, just smile and shut up, and they'll stop on their own energy momentum. Good job, good question. I'm tough. I've gotten free BJs before. Okay, same thing as one night stand. Hey, all right, I don't know. Hey, you may be a 350-pound psychopath that masturbates to child porn. I don't know, but I'll take your word for it. All right, love and respect, Tony. Sam, you on fire tonight? Well, thank you, brother. Fire emoji back to you. You also dropped a gem. Dropping mad truth bombs. Thank you. I appreciate that. Good job. Well, Tony, same back to you, brother. You had a little good perspective. I'm tough. Do what pretty women do. Pretend you got a phone call. Nope, you're adding fire to the flame. But I did pretend I got a phone call when I picked up a girl when she had no wig on. I met her 2 days before at a cookout. She had a wig on, okay? And then I picked her up 2 days later. She had no wig on. Girls, when you dramatically change your look like that, it's not good, okay? That's like me wearing a wig. Like one day I show up, I'm Fabio, and the next day I'm bald. Guys, that's too shocking. So, like, I couldn't even say, like, God forbid she got cancer or something. It was 2 days later. I said, how'd she lose her hair? She deceived me. I remember one time I was dating a stripper, and the only time I had ever seen her in a strip club when she had, like, her bikini on. And then I went to pick her up, and she had like, a regular street clothes on, and I went to pick her up, and she had gotten my passenger seat, and I was just looking at her. And I wasn't saying anything, like, the fire was going out. And she goes, Sam, what are you looking at? And I guess I couldn't tell, like, because I wasn't even thinking I was looking at her, but I was just stunned. And then she had said to me, she goes, Sam, what are you looking at me because you never saw me with clothes on? And I said, oh, shit, that's what because she looked different with clothes on, man. And girls, when you look way different with a wig on. So what I can tell you is this, guys, I don't know what I just said, but it's a disaster out there. That's why I want to stay alone and masturbate. Good job. The phone call. Yeah, then when I was looking at her, I saw the girl that was bald that I picked up. I met her with a wig on at the cookout. I pretended like I got a phone call and I dropped her off. I never called her back. It was total disaster. I got dumped too before, but Illinois. Use your body language to end the conversation. Just keep your mouth shut and smile. That's what I would say. Good job. Journey with Jordan. I'd still like to start my own channel. I'm not mad at you. I would support you, but good luck with that because it's totally mentally exhausting. But I think I'll wait until you get to Korea. I'm not mad at that. For privacy reasons, mostly mental health reasons. I totally agree. Guys, your mental health takes a hit when you have a YouTube channel. You think about it all day. And you're critical to yourself. Okay. That's why I saw some psychopaths that tried to start their own channel and they totally burnt out. They didn't realize how hard it was. They just thought it's free money. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Guys, YouTube's not a game, man. YouTube is very mentally demanding and you sacrifice privacy and it can severely hurt your mental health. I'm not against it. I do it. And I encourage people who want to do it because I want to be a support system. I want you to look at me and say, hey, look, if he can do it, I can do it. But I also want you to look at me the same way you look at me living in a car. Like Tony said, for Tony, he can look at my life. He can appreciate it. But Tony is taking accountability for his life. He said, Sam, for me personally, I figured out what I need to add and subtract. And he goes, I need to add an apartment. Because my mental health, my well-being is not good if I don't have my apartment to go home to unwind to. And that's why I like Tony's comment, okay? And the same thing with a YouTube channel. Like, I want you to say, like if someone does it, you can do it. But you also have to say, look, I'm not him and he's not me. So I have to take accountability. Like, look, YouTube is mentally harmful to a lot of people, including me. The only reason I'm able to do YouTube is because I have very little else in my life. If I had a house, if I had relationships, if I moved to a new country and I had the stress of learning a new culture, I would be a little bit shook. But everything in life is a level of sacrifice. And if you want to do something, I want to encourage you. So if you do decide to get into the YouTube game, here's my number one piece of advice. Upload videos that are imperfect and stay consistent. Because with XB Jeffy, he could easily have like 20,000 subscribers. But he has started his channel. He's doing great. And then he started he was addicted to masturbation and addicted to weed. And then all of a sudden he stopped doing videos for a year because he said it was in a bad place. So look, you're going to have times where you do videos when you're in a bad place. But he had to get his life together, and I don't blame him for that. Now he's in a good place. But who knows, 6 months from now, he may be in a bad place again. He may not do videos. Guys, it's not easy. Okay? So do whatever you got to do to take care of yourself. Good job. Tony, even better, don't get into small conversations in the first place. Well, I want to encourage you to learn how to function in society and deal with people. Because you have to, even if you're very wealthy, you have to learn to deal with people. One day you may have to go to a doctor's office. You have to learn to call and interact with people. One day you may need to go to a car shop. You have to learn how to call and interact with people. You want to have people skills. The number one thing they should teach in school is people skills. Why? Because the number one reason people quit their job is people, not the job. So you do need people, and you do need a level of social interaction to keep a healthy well-being. Some people need more than others, okay? So you have to evaluate that for your life, but I think you should seriously consider all factors. Journey with Jordan, intuitive stripper. Yeah, she was smart. Guys, strippers are smart, man. Sometimes public school teachers are dumb and strippers are smart. Hey, guys, there's no exact science to life. That's truth. No disrespect to public school teachers, guys. No disrespect. Snow Panther, would you still want to do YouTube if you had 100K subscribers? Yeah, look, the more my channel grows, the more it makes money-wise, it's harder to quit. I'm directly honest with you. If I was still doing YouTube after 2 years, which I basically had my YouTube channel for 2 years, if I was still getting no money for it, I wouldn't do it. So if a day comes where I'm not getting enough money or it's not making financial sense, because it's too harmful. I'm sacrificing too much. I'm not getting enough back. I can lie to you, but that's how I feel. And that's how I got eventually burnt out doing a nonprofit organization. I said, this is meaningless. For me, everyone's different, but I'm being honest with you. So if I had 100 subscribers are one metric, but the main metric is how many views you get. Because right now I got 8,000 right now I have 8,000 subscribers, but on average, only 5% of my subscribers watch my videos. And that's about 400 or 500 views per video. So I only get about 400 to 500 views per video, even though I have 8,000 subscribers. So if I had 100,000 subscribers, I would probably only get 5,000 to 10,000 views per video. And it's all about views. Views is the major metric for monetization. Super Chat is a major supplemental. That's really helped my channel. But without me making enough money to justify what I sacrificed with my mental health, with my well-being, with showing up with my time, it's still a minimum wage job for me if I divide my time, my energy, and everything else. But I still like doing it. So, but eventually, I'm being honest with you, yeah, if it made sense money-wise and it didn't affect my health too much in a negative way, I would still do it. If it eventually affected my health in a negative way and it didn't make sense money-wise, I wouldn't do it. That's the bottom line answer, and that's what I would tell just about anyone would say. John, good evening. Thumbs up, brother. I appreciate that. Let's take a hydration break to you. Yeah, down here in Florida, you better stay hydrated, man. When you close your windows in your car, it's basically like a sauna, man. I just lost 5 pounds. Next. Good to see you again, John. Journey with Jordan. And getting to that $100 million super chat, God willing, brother, is no walk in the park. It ain't, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate your support, Journey with Jordan. Shout out to Tennessee, man. Now, look, YouTube is work. Now, I looked at YouTube differently before I was a creator. And I judged people, and I was critical of people, just like I was before I owned my own business. Okay, when I was just an employee, I would say, oh, these evil corporations, these evil people. And some of them are. But like I say, being a person who employed others and being an employee, it gives you a better perspective. And being a YouTube creator and a YouTube watcher gives you a greater perspective. Now, I still watch some people I totally get frustrated with. But now I interact with them less, and I learn as an adult, if I don't like this channel, it's my job to not watch it, rather than to keep thumbs downing it and keep trying to tell them what I think they should do. Now, I'm still human, so sometimes I still watch a channel I get frustrated with. But part of being an adult is saying, look, I can't change this person. That's who they are. I either accept them or I move on with my life. And for many people, they're not mature enough to do that. And that's why they keep trying to make a point that I'm going to show you I don't like you. But really, your point is that you're immature and, you're not willing to put in the work of your own life. I understand. I've been there, so I understand. John, yes, you need communication skills. Totally agree. And I do recognize it's part of my God-given gift. I have refined it. So I can't brag and say it's all my own doing. Some of what I've been blessed with is God's gift. Now, some people have other things that I don't have. So, but I do recognize that even though I've developed it, some of my communication skills and my ability to adapt and to kind of like navigate the system is a God-given gift. And I don't boast in it. I put in the work to refine it, but we all have different gifts. Again, there's some people who do things way better than me in different areas. So everyone's different. But that's why usually your passion is lied into whatever you do good. Like for me, it's kind of like second nature, right? So when you see me say, oh, he makes it look easy. Like Michael Jordan made playing basketball look easy. But if you ever play basketball, it's not easy to do what Michael Jordan did, right? So I may make living in your car or YouTube easy, but it's just because I enjoy doing it and I have a certain God-given gift. Like Michael Jordan may cause basketball to look easy, but he has a certain God-given gift, and that's why. So, it's like a combination of things. Grateful Days. What's up, brother? Hey now, brother. Good to see you, man. Good to see you and good to be here. Thank you, brother, for leaving a chat. Love to you, man. Peace to you. Thank you for that. Dennis, I can agree on the mental stress disasters that can occur on YouTube. Thank you. I watched this one gal named Carly, and the moment she shared a breakdown moment, I had to subtract. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not mad. Anyone should share whatever they want, but the only thing I would tell you is sometimes people say, like, that's it, I'm shutting down my channel. But let me tell you something. If YouTube is paying you a regular monthly check, you're never going to shut down your channel. Because it's hard to walk away from money. Now, eventually, if things are bad enough, then you will walk away. But what I can tell you is no one wants to walk away from money. Look, money makes the world go round. Okay, so I'm a capitalist. Why? Because I have to function in a capitalist system. Okay, so it's just what it is. Everything is going to be a system. And the one thing you should learn in life, doesn't matter if it's capitalism, socialism, everything is a system. So you have to learn the system and you have to play within the rules of it and you have to make it work for you. Bottom line, guys. And look, I'm in a capitalist system, which I'm thankful for capitalism. I think there's a lot of good things. I think it's better than a lot of other systems. But Social Security is socialism, and I believe in some social programs to help the destitute. But what I can tell you is this, guys, is that if you don't learn how to navigate the system, doesn't matter what system it is, you're going to get screwed. So it's very easy to get screwed. Be careful. Illinois. Schools need to teach real life skills. It's hard because most of the school teachers are living 80% paycheck to paycheck too. And they're counting on their pension. And I understand that. And I'm pro, school teachers or whatever. But look, the bottom line is it's hard for teachers to teach what's not on the agenda. And the agenda is pre-selected. Okay, just like life is pre-selected. And basically what you have to learn to do is you have to learn how to balance a budget. You have to learn how to deal with people. And then you have to learn how to take care of yourself. School can only teach you some basic things. But the one thing school does teach you is that when you have a problem in life, you usually have a couple different selections of choices. You have A, B, C, and D. So what you have to figure out is what should you subtract before you add. Okay, what answers don't make sense to the problem that's before you? All right, good job. John, Sam, what's your take/idea why subs, your AK, only have 5% view, them not full AK? Because if you look at most channels, most channels only have, compared to their subs, they only have 5 to 10% of people who normally view their videos. Once in a while, they have a spike. Like once in a while, I have a couple of videos that go viral. But the average video on the average YouTube channel is 5 to 10% of their total subscribers. It's just a mathematical formula of life. And in most businesses, it's like that. In most businesses, the profit margin is usually closer to 10%. When you're doing an investment, an average return is anywhere between 5 to 10%. Above 10% return is above average, okay? So the average return on any investment, whether it's YouTube or the stock market, is 5 to 10%. Above 10% is above average return. So that's just a mathematical formula of life. Good question. Journey with Jordan. Ooh, that's a hot girl right there. Damn it, I'm a masturbation. Journey Jordan. Schools do teach real life skills. Show up, follow the rules, go home. That's like 90%, 95. It's true. It sucks because, just sitting in one place for 8 hours sucks. But that's real life. But that's why you have to try to redesign. I tried to redesign my life with a remote job, with living a non-conforming life because I don't like that system. But I had to learn that's part of the system. So you're right. I didn't like the system. I don't have the personality to deal with it. But I dealt with it because in life you have to learn to do what you don't want to do to position yourself so you can do what you want to do. So that's the system. That's the game. But you can't just blindly follow the system because if you blindly follow the system, you'll be like 80% of the system. 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, even with an all-time high stock market. And most people are unhappy. So what I would tell you is be odd, be different, play the game, but don't be part of the game. All right, good job. John's laughing. Lost 5 pounds, brother. You ain't lying about that. After I masturbate to that Puerto Rican girl I saw tonight, I'm going to lose another 5. Let's take a hydration break. Whew. Dennis, it's interesting about the metrics of YouTube. Yep. It's like I said, it's like any investment. I'm guessing to a certain point, less is more. Look, there's times on my channel that I block more than the average person would. Because YouTube is a side hustle for me. I would never make it a main hustle. Why? Because that's not really what it is for most people. And then you have to pander, and then you have to depend on other people for your outcome. I work and I try to save because I don't want to have to depend on other people. I don't want to be on the hook. I saw someone who has a YouTube channel. They had 34,000 subscribers. Okay. They were probably making a couple grand a month. Someone basically hacked their account. And now they're making nothing a month. Now, does that happen often? No. But at any time, YouTube can change the game. Guys, when I first started YouTube, you didn't need 1,000 subscribers. I was 6 months into YouTube. I was just about to get monetized. And then YouTube said you have to have 1,000 subscribers. So YouTube is like any other job. At any time, they can change the rules. But just like my beard, once in a while, I have to subtract my beard. I have to cut it down. Just like the scriptures say, once in a while, you have to prune the tree. When you prune the tree, you're taking off dead branches to grow healthier long term. So once in a while, I eliminate people from my channel, even though it hurts my numbers, it hurts my return on investment, but long term, I feel I grow a healthier channel. Like initially, if I didn't block the trolls right now, there wouldn't be as many positive and healthy conversations that are in the live chat room. That came from me being willing to subtract them. And the only reason I was able to subtract trolls is because I have a full-time job. If I depended on YouTube to feed me, I would have to play the game to whoever troll whoever, because a view is a view, guys. Like YouTube doesn't care if it's a troll or if it's the best person in the world. Why? Because a view is a view. And that's the metric that's determining your ad revenue. And so I'm not willing to sacrifice my mental health for a view. Okay, so why? Because I'm willing to work. Some people now YouTube is work, but some people who do YouTube, they're not willing to work. And that's why they have to play the game. Now, I'll play the game a little bit, but I'm not going to bend over backwards for YouTube because that's not how I want to do it. I want to use my creativity free-flowing. Let's take another hydration break. Amber Bush, the Florida sun burns you up? Well, you better go back to Kentucky, man. Or go to Oregon where there's nothing but clouds, brother. I like to get burnt up, man. Okay, love and respect. Milano, shout out to Milano, man. In his Class B plus down there with Emilio. Tell Emilio to stay hydrated, man. I saw his latest video. He looked like his health was failing. He had to stay hydrated. Because, again, in Florida, you lose a lot of, you sweat a lot. So you can lose a lot of sodium. So he was getting dehydrated. Now, like Milano said on his video, I think he was drinking alcohol and banging out some Colombian prostitutes. So that didn't help either. But let me tell you something, guys. If you're banging out Colombian prostitutes and you're drinking alcohol and you live in Miami, you damn sure better be hydrated. Why? Because you can end up in a hospital, man. Shout out to you and shout out to Emilio, man. Love and respect. Tony, Sam, do you park and sleep in different places or the same place every night? Once in a while, it's at the same place, but for the most part, I keep it moving in a variety of different places that I've discovered and sometimes campgrounds. What kind of places do you park? Truck stops, Walmarts, Crackle Barrels, and campgrounds. Those are the major ones. Journey with Jordan. I'm just hoping Dave Ramsey's 1 million YouTube subscribers distract him from doing a parking lot sweep. Well, brother, let me tell you something. Every time I think you, all I can think is the song with Future, Feds Did a Sweep. So the Future song, Feds Did a Sweep, basically plays in the background of my head every time I think about you. Because eventually, Dave Ramsey's going to do a sweep of that parking lot. He's going to find you by the dumpster because you park there every night. And what I could tell any nomadic person that lives in their car, van, or RV, you better keep it moving. Because if you don't keep it moving, eventually Dave Ramsey finds you masturbating in a sock next to the dumpster. And what I could tell you then, you better stay hydrated, because when you're in the police interrogation room, you're going to sweat. All right, let's take a hydration break. Sailing John, I'm going to get to you, brother. Hope and pray. Hope and pray. Hello, friends. Hey, hope and pray. Jay Bear, hey. Give me a little smiley emoji, thumbs up. Thank you, John. Thanks for the 5% explanation, brother. Thank you for understanding. Hope and pray. Are you pro-life? Yeah, come on, man. You already watched this channel. You know I'm pro-choice. Hope and pray. Don't be a nut job. We love you. John, smiling. Good job. Illinois. Oh, no. Hope and pray. Hope and pray is good. See? How does your mental health get hurt? Hope and Pray has been in several live feeds. She knows what I'm about, and she's asking redundant questions because either she has a mental health problem or she's just playing games with me. So guess what's going to happen to Hope and Pray? Hope and Pray, I'm going to let you hang in there. But I'm telling you right now, you're starting to test my mental health. I love you. You've listened to my channel. And if you haven't listened to my channel, then I don't know why you're asking questions. I love you. You're welcome here. But if you're going to be bad for my mental health, I cut off my father. So I'm damn sure not going to hesitate to cut off someone with a fake profile on YouTube, okay? I love you, okay? But let's stop it right now before it gets too crazy. All right, let's continue to read. Illinois. On investments, go for the singles and doubles. Good job, brother. If you go for the big kill, it probably won't work. I've been there. Once in a while, the problem is when you get a big kill, then you think you can get it consistently. It's not sustainable. So once in a while, if you get a big kill, just remember, doubles and singles win the game long term. I totally agree. Good job. Good mindset. Hope and pray. I love you. Stay positive, please. Sound John. Sam, hey, shout to you, brother. Sound John, thank you for staying with me, man. Love to you. Peace to you. Are you still in St. Augustine, man? Dennis, great answer about playing the game while hanging on to you. Thank you, brother. My grandma once said to me, if you can't do what you like, this is true. Learn to like what you have to do. Excellent comment. I started my career in construction. I worked in ditches. I worked in pharmaceutical plants. Total disaster. But I did it as a means to an end. I want to position myself to build up a career. Eventually, long term, I want to do what I love. Me downsizing my life, me subtracting my financial obligations and my material items was a conscious decision so that I can add doing YouTube and other things that I enjoy to do. And I hope and I pray that YouTube can grow in other side hustles so that I can live off them, okay? Not just one of them, because I can't count on any just one, but a multitude of side hustles because I enjoy to do them. And that's part of, I think it's a blessing to enjoy what you do. I'm thankful for my regular job. I put my all into it, but for me, using my creativity and using my gifts is a conscious decision that I've made midlife, so that I think doing what you love and getting paid for is one of the best feelings in the world, but it's very hard to do. And it takes a conscious, calculated effort of subtraction and addition that you really have to do the math on. Good job. Johnny with John's laughing. Good job. John's laughing. Good job. A. Bush. I'm from Louisiana. It's a total swampland. So I know heat. You damn right. You got a little boozy down there. But damn, Florida laughing my ass off. Love it, though. You better love it because, anyone who don't love Florida don't love me. Guys, if you don't love Florida, you don't love me. That's how I feel. But, A. Bush, all I can tell you is shout out to you. Shout out to Louisiana. Love to you. Hope and pray. Drink plain tea. I'm not mad at you. I drink free Starbucks water. Jeremy Jordan. Hotels and large parking lots are also great for free boondocking. Yes, but they can be illegal. I'm not the law, but you just got to be careful. I'm not saying you can't have that area as an option, but you don't want to be there every night. There used to be random cars and usually quiet and dark. Yes, but you have to be careful. That's all. Hope and pray. Glad to support you, man. Well, I appreciate the positivity. Thank you. And Milano, Sammy, first thing you have to do is learn how to deal with the system. Good job, Milano. Look, Milano came from Cuba, okay? Then he migrated to America. He made a way for himself. He's the American dream, guys. You think, I have respect for anyone who has gone into different countries with different systems because they understand that life is a system and you got to learn how to play the game. Now, you got to have a system that has somewhat of an opportunity, and that's why America's a blessing. America's not perfect, but it's a blessing, okay? Because out of all the other systems in the world, America's not perfect, but it has a lot of opportunities, okay? So we have to be thankful for that, okay? And what I could tell you is Milano learned the system, And guess what he's about to do? He worked his whole life. He's about to collect his first Social Security check. Okay. So Milano, don't get caught in the system where you're giving your Social Security check to that Colombian girl. Why? Because then you get caught in her system. Be careful. All right. And then he goes, Sammy, the first thing you have to do is learn the system. I agree. What is the best for you? Totally agree. Not what the salesperson is telling you. Totally agree. Some people go to school and scam you. Well, I totally agree with that. Good comment, Milano. Sammy doesn't. Emilio doesn't drink alcohol. All right. Well, you got to tell him then be careful with the Colombian girls. San John, apartment. Yeah, St. Augustine. Good for now. I love it. Good job, brother. Hope and pray. Sorry, Nomad. That's all right. Love to you. Hope and pray. Hope and pray. I love you. Thank you for hanging in there. Love and blessings to you. Hope and pray. I love you. Stay positive. All right, guys. We got to each and every live comment. I appreciate you guys leaving the live comments. I appreciate, guys, all your support. You guys have been a blessing to me. I don't want to just... That's why I read each and every live comment. Guys, that's unique. I'm not saying my channel is big or that I'm better, but what I can tell you, it's a blessing to me because it's part of my social interaction. But it's rare on YouTube that you see YouTube feeds where we go through each and every live comment. It's a blessing to me. It's not something I'm boasting about, so I'm thankful for it, and I'm appreciative of that. Thank you again for everyone. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for Chris and Snow Panther. Much appreciated. Milano says, Sammy, what do you think about creatine? Again, I think it's like in that supplement category. Supplements are basically concentrated forms of protein and a variety of different vitamins that make your liver work harder. Your liver is a filtration system. So when your liver has to work harder, again, it's not natural. So I believe in trying to eat as natural as possible, plant-based, and get rid of supplements. Supplements are not regulated by the FDA. Taffy, one of your comments got blocked. Let me prove it. Taffy goes, she negotiate for him, pay out the $16K a month for child support, and close a $36K month for her needs. Shit's crazy. Marriage can haunt a man for life. Well, I agree. But now a lot of women are learning that marriage can haunt them a life because now a lot of women are making more than men. Kylie Jenner decided not to marry Travis Scott. Why? Because she's a billionaire and Travis Scott isn't. And she says there's no reason to entangle herself financially because it's not worth it. And many women now who are no longer oppressed and able to work in the workforce and make just as much or more than men, they're realizing that marriage is a raw deal if you're the breadwinner because you put yourself at a greater financial risk. So I would tend to agree with that. John, you also build your communication skills. I agree with that. Thank you, John. Doing and reading these live feeds, it's a double blessing, and I'm appreciative. Thank you, John. All right, guys. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the effort to click